Alright. What's up, everybody? We are here with the best of 5 quarterfinals from the World Championship. Maru in the bottom right side, representing Onside Gaming. An unfortunate team kill. They often run into each other so often in the round of 8. If only they could run into each other in the semis for once. Solar in the top left side. And Solar is a big monster. Now, there is a flow to the games between these two, and that is Maru tends to win. He has a winning record, quite favored. However, Solar often looks close to winning. I would say Maru is always in the driver's seat, but that's kind of just every Terran versus Solar. Solar plays a very defensive, very generic style of Zerg versus Terran. He does struggle when Maru plays kind of greedy, because Solar doesn't punish him very often. If Maru plays very greedy into Widowmine, Parade, 3cc, just multi-prong aggression, Marines, and Widowmine drops all over the place, Solar sometimes just gets overwhelmed. But if Maru plays more conservative, or if he plays highly aggressive, Solar stomps. Like, I kid you not, guys. If Maru actually goes for like Banshees or commits really hard to Hellion dives and stuff, usually Solar destroys that. But oh, he didn't move that drone far enough out of position. Solar, oh, first mistake already here. And that means he does not get to go for the triangular third that he wanted to. He has to send another drone out and expand down here, which I actually think this is a better third base. Arguably anyway, though. Oh, maybe not, because now he probably has to take the fourth at the bottom, and that's very exposed to some scary pushes. Here we go, Maru pulling back with that. Reaper doesn't really get anything else, but a drone is already a great start. And there we go. He's doing the greedy build. It's already a good map for Terran, and he says, I'm going to be greedy. I'll just play 3cc. I think if Solar opened up their series with a Ravager Ling all in or something like that, he might just get a win here. He very well may. I don't know if Maru's even going to bother building a Banshee, because he tends to just cut corners against Solar. But when he doesn't cut those corners, like I said, or if he commits to his own aggression, I have seen Solar slap it down. And even if it feels like he's defending and he's turtling all game, at a certain point... Whoa! What the hell? Solar, you bastard! Urubu, shame on you! Solar has now been cursed. For those who don't know, there is a curse. If you kill the Urubu on these maps, then you actually get cursed. This has happened so many times before. Solar already lost a drone, apparently letting that rage out on the Urubu. And that's a big mistake, man. I have seen it happen multiple times. Wasn't it Reyna? Killed that against Hero Marine, I think, in the Weekly Cup, and then Hero Marine absolutely rolled over him in like a really one-sided game. So Solar's got to be careful. But to finish my thoughts from the early game, Solar, good at slapping down overly aggressive Maru. Very good once he gets Hive Tech at going from defense into offense. However, Maru's very good at surviving that offense and then winning in the late game. I've seen a lot of games where, like, I remember on 2000 Atmospheres, there was this match maybe a year or two ago in GSL where it was just like hundreds of Banelings cascading, and Maru was stuck at like 140 supply against a max Solar for like 3 different battles in a row, which normally means the Terran dies to the next wave. But he just kept defending and kept blowing up so many Banelings with tanks and Widow Mines, and Solar could not quite finish him, and he ran out of steam, and Maru won the game. And you know, that's often what happens, and if Solar then loses a close game like that, Maru loves to proxy Rex right afterwards. One change, though, in the recent patch, his workers are slightly more microable. They can attack without fully coming to a halt, so they can kind of move and attack a little bit better, which means you can defend proxy Rex builds a little bit better. Now, the Overlord got in, saw the 3rd command center, and as we pointed out, guys, there is no Banshee. It's simply a single Raven that's going to auto-turret harass the main, and then a Liberator coming in behind it. Pretty chilled out play for Maru, who goes now for the double engineering bay before 2nd and 3rd barracks, so he's very upgrade focused. Auto turret manages to get 1 drone, almost gets a 2nd, but quick pull by Solar. And there we go. Raven gets on out of there, wants to join that up at the front to help pick off some tumors with these Hellions. 8 Hellions, a Reaper, and a Raven is a very good squad for clearing creep. Maru basically is looking to save money. So with this style, you got to take into account you're not going to be scanning to kill creep. You're just using the Raven and the Hellion, and you're playing very conservative, because if you ever lose these units, the Zerg explodes in creep, and none of this investment was worth it. But if you can keep just zoning around the edges, picking off those units, you can be very effective. And he does actually add a Liberator, but Spore Crawler well positioned. Watch out, Maru. Solar's ready for this. Looks like he cleared up 1 or 2 tumors down there. Queen's pushing back. Maru with very good micro, though, goes around the edge. How quick does Solar respond? He pulls the Lings, pulls the drones. He loses only 1 drone. Very nicely done. Spore Crawler gets off just 1 hit before that Liberator repositions. Solar already uprooting. He's going to move that Spore around. Should cancel that. There we go. He's going to do that. Queen does take one hit, but she survives. And Liberator pulling back. Meanwhile, Hellion Raven looks like they cleared up some more creep, but Solar can easily respread that. I really love the way Solar's playing this. I mean, this is a very annoying Liberator, but it's not really high impact. Like, it kills a few Lings there, which is way better than losing drones. A Spire is on the way, so Solar's going to play Mutiling Bane versus Bio tank this game. Maru does have a Siege tank on the way already, though. Non-stop Bio production. And looks like he's going to go for that Armory and try to go straight into 2-2. The upgrade advantage is always what you have pretty solidly up against a Muta player. It's going to be even more so in this game. Auto Turret does help clear up that creep and should be putting a few more tumors down as well as a nice transfuse. Oh, I think he misclicked on the Overlord. That was meant to be on the Queen. Solar has to do a second transfuse to get it on the Queen. These Queens should be respreading this creep. Now, this is interesting. It goes 4th there, 5th there. So if Solar has to give up this base on the north, that's totally fine because he can move to the south. And with Mutas, that can totally surprise an opponent, especially one who has no idea that there is a Spire right now. Where is that Spire? It's up here in the main. Maru has no idea that that's the case, but he's moving forwards. He's got 2 tanks and a pack of Marines. He feels like the Hellion Raven is keeping him occupied. Oh! Oh, if he cancels this, that means Solar has to defend the northern base. If he just targets that, oh, he's going to target it. That's a dead hatch. That is 100% a dead hatchery. He's going to have to cancel. Cancel, Solar. It's going to go down. Okay, good save on that. So at least it doesn't get completely killed, but he could come back in and kill that one more time. The tanks and Marines getting there. Solar has no idea this is coming. He's got 12 Mutas out. Where are those Mutalisks? They're hiding. I think he should just go for the Raven Alien, to be honest. I think that's a decent pickup, but he's trying to hide the Mutas. Solar's trying to be tricky. Little does he realize Maru already has a push on the front. Now, Solar, I think he's just got to give this hatchery up. I don't think he can fight it. If he goes full backstab with all of his Ling Bane Muta, though, I think he wins the game. His Lings are trying to fight on the front, though. He's worried about the frontal push, but there's no way Maru dives on creep. The Muta's completely surprising Maru, catching him with his pants down. Maru taking so many losses right now. We've got those Mutas just annihilating that mineral line. Maru doesn't even pull the SCVs away. Damn, I mean, the Mutas could even just fight these Marines. That's not that many Marines. Mutas do win that fight, but as more Marines pull back, he will want to rotate down to the third base. That turret's not done either. Massive damage for Solar. Now, Solar goes back to droning. I actually think he should do nothing but Ling Bane here because Maru has been so aggressive in this game. I think there's a big window with Carapace finishing for him to just do a giant, overwhelming attack. Another siege tank goes down as well. Solar is looking fantastic in this game. He's transferred workers to that bottom left base, but he doesn't have macro hatcheries, and he's lost two bases, so he needs to build more hatcheries. His Mutas are going to see a giant 1-1 Marine tank push coming. Carapace is so darn late, man. Gets a few Mutas there, but he will lose. Oh, he loses a Muta. And Maru's very good with his focus fires, so you got to be very wary that Reddit point Muta does get out of there. Meanwhile, Army on the front getting it. I think Solar has the numbers to engage this, honestly, but Solar's being very cautious. He doesn't want to fight into that choke point, but he's so deep on creep. If Solar splits his army half here and a bit of the units there, he can do it. He's just got to be careful because those rocks could get collapsed. Solar, he's got to make sure he splits up and goes sooner rather than later. His Mutas are coming home. Queens are starting to get blasted down. Maru's stemmed a little bit, but the whole army coming from one angle. A big mistake for Solar. No units engaging from the left whatsoever. Everything came from the one side, and his army's kind of running back and forth a little bit. Solar crumbling under the pressure of Maru's push, takes a very dodgy engagement, and Maru now with a big ball of Marines just shoves on forwards and smashes it. Solar there was in a good position. I mean, maybe not amazing because it is a small map and that's a good push. Don't get me wrong. Was Carapace done when that happened? I got to rewind to check that. Yes. Was it? Man, the Carapace not being there is very rough. But I still think he could have rolled some Banelings in to blow these guys up beforehand. I think Solar was a bit too worried. And half of these units should have been moving up to here. And only 1/3 should have been coming from there. But he sends the whole army here, and this is not how you should ever engage. Notice how, I think he thought half the army would attack that way, but even that wouldn't be good because his units are going around corners. And if they're clumping here, maximum splash damage goes down. Watch this on slow-mo. I always talk about how if you want to attack, you want to move up into the open and then attack through this wide open area or this wide open area from here. You'd never want to attack around a corner because look at the way the units clump and get stuck behind each other. Now, luckily, tank shots aren't landing on them yet, but look how clumped those Banelings are. Luckily, Maru didn't focus fire. This could have been worse, but it still means all these Marines and Hellbats have super well spread. These guys are all clumping up on just a few Marines and Hellbats, and that is not how you want that engagement to go. Not to mention 10 seconds before Carapace finished, so hats off to Maru for pushing so hard when he had the double upgrade advantage. Really great play by Maru, but also a botched engagement for Solar. On the other hand, this is Maru's map. It's not the worst thing to lose on Maru's map. Maru takes a 1-0 lead. All right, going into game number 2, we got Solar in the bottom right side here of Gressman going up against a 2-Rax Reaper build from Maru. Now, Maru just settling into his comfort zone and saying, you know what? I've been spamming this build out so many games, and I'm going to do it again now. This is a build that can get you in trouble. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice against a weaker opponent. Maru used this twice already in the group stage against Lambo. Just both games, same opening. And it puts on a lot of pressure. It makes it uncomfortable. Lambo fought really well in those games and actually got in good positions. I mean, hats off to Lambo for fighting as well as he did. He was just kind of overwhelmed by the sheer weight of the follow-up aggression. And Maru just basically extended the micro interactions for as long as possible until Lambo crumbled. Solar will not crumble in those scenarios. There is no way. Solar does not crumble to pressure in this matchup. However, I don't know, man. Is it even good on this map? There's no, okay, there's a ledge there that your Reapers can jump up and down, but there's nothing down here. So I guess you have ledge there you can use to escape, ledge there, and that's about it. Obviously, there's the corresponding ledge there. I mean, there's a few areas you can use to escape if they go links around. We do have 6 lings on the way for Solar, which will help defend the first Reaper. Command Center starts behind this, so this is not Beyond's crazy 4-Rax Marine follow-up or anything like that. But we'll see how it goes from here. Third hatchery goes down, ling speed, queens, drone starting up. Solar doesn't... No, he does know about the double barrack, so he knows this is happening, but notice how he keeps droning. A lot of players make the mistake of massing Zerglings here. 6 Zerglings is enough. And I like that. Look at that Creep Tumor in the main. He injects the natural Creep Tumor in the main. That's very important, so your queens can move between the bases. Really smart play by Solar. Now, if it's 3-Rax Reaper, you can also build a spine covering the natural. Problem on this map is they can always bypass by jumping there. And the main, they can jump in and go around the edge. So a spine doesn't really shut anything down. And against this 2-Rax version, you definitely don't want to do that. Now, the Reaper's going to be very annoying, but I like that ling movement. Really nicely done. And he builds just a couple of more Zerglings. Pushes this back. Great defense by Solar so far. The 3 Reapers ain't really finding much leeway, and I like the way he's holding that drone key down. Solar's doing a very good job. Factory into 3rd command center. Now, with the 3rd CC follow-up, Maru massively delays Marine production. If Solar saw that 3rd CC, he would know this. He might be able to guess because the barracks floated out. Oh, look at that escape, though. Does he get there? Oh, Solar getting in, juking and jiving. Very nicely done. Nice drone pull to make sure he doesn't lose any of those, but the Reaper's just going to go into the main base. That's kind of annoying. Where are the Zerglings, man? Oh no, the lings went across the map. Oh, he was trying to get those Marines, but the depot gets up just barely in time. Reapers go in. It looks like they get only 1 drone. Really nice drone pulls. Gets the tech lab cancelled. He's going to get the reactor as well. Oh, Solar. Oh, very nice snipes. He could have even clicked that reactor as well if he wanted. Maru double cancel, delaying his barracks production a lot. Looks like he's going to follow up with a Hellion drop, I believe. He's going to, yeah. I mean, what else have you got? Otherwise, you've got no presence on this map. I guess he's got 3 Reapers, but they could get surrounded by the Zerglings if they're not careful. Solar with full map control. A fantastic early game. 5 queens, going on 6 queens. He's got creep tumors spreading all around his main. Now he's got 4 tumors on the front of the natural. He's going to spread a tumor out the north. Oh, absolutely delicious opening by Solar. And I think Maru going back to... well, I would call this is the laziest opening of Terran players this tournament. We've seen him and Beyond do it time and again. Just 2-Rax Reaper, 2-Rax Reaper, 2-Rax Reaper. And I understand it's a nice comfort zone. I guess the argument doing this against foreign Zergs is they haven't played against it as much because Clem and whatnot don't do it. But I think guys like Solar have been playing so much against this build from Beyond every single online cup 5 times a week for the last month. And as a result, I think it's a nice comfort zone. I'll apply some pressure, macro behind it. I have a lot of practice. But I do think it's one of those builds that can get you in trouble up against a guy like Solar. When he's had enough practice against a build, he'll be so perfect in his defense and his responses that you're not going to get that much done. And oh, Ling's catching the Reapers. Massive, massive catch. Oh, 3 Reapers going down. Sees the drop coming in as well, which means Queens can move over there, as can the Zerglings. Now, Maru definitely should pull back. He knows he's being spotted, so he should just pull back, seeing the Queens in position. What? Maru, what are you doing? Maru! Oh my god, a ridiculous decision to commit in. That made no sense whatsoever. He gets 2 drones, loses the drop, loses all semblance of map control, and he basically just handed a hall pass to Solar. Solar, would you like to drone and spread creep freely for the next 5 minutes? Do you want to have complete map control and no pressure on your shoulders so you can macro perfectly? Solar's like, Yes, Mr. Maru? Maru's like, here you go, hall pass. You're like, what? That was not a good move at all. And he should have known. Maru sometimes gets a little bit silly in these scenarios, and he gets a bit overcommitted to his aggression. That reminded me of that BlizzCon round of 16 match versus SOS. We all thought Maru was going to win 2018. SOS is on one base blink. He knows it. He sees 4 Stalkers on the edge of the base, boosts his medevac into it, loses his Widowmine drop without unloading a single thing, and loses the game. And we were all just flabbergasted going, Maru, keep it together. I know you struggle at these live tournaments overseas, but come on. This is better. He gets an Overlord, doesn't throw away any Marines. This is pretty good. Almost gets a Queen. Did slow down the creep on the left side, but Solar's still looking large and in charge. 1-1 upgrades, Baneling speed, and that 4th mineral line. If he can saturate that 4th base, he's going to be running away with this game. Meanwhile, getting up to 5 barracks is Maru. Armory's finishing, so he can start 2-2 on time. He's going to try and do a Biomine multi-prong drop there. I like the fact that he's going to stretch out Solar's multitasking by hitting multiple fronts. Always a good way to play. With no Raven, he's going to have to use a lot of scans to push back the creep in this game. And that hurts, since he's still not got a 4th command center, no 2nd factory, only 5 barracks. Maru's still stuck in the mid-game. No clear transition. Nice ling run by for Solar, but very good SCV pull for Maru. Loses an SCV in a building depot, not a big issue. Solar will just pull back, morph Banelings, and roll back in. The problem is that's kind of predictable, so Maru should spread Widow Mines out here. One there, one there. We'll shut down this follow-up Baneling run by. Solar's not being predictable, though. I like it. Not just doing the standard thing. Very smart play by Solar. Uh-oh. 1-2. Queens go down. 3rd one almost dies. Widowmine's not getting massive shots off. Big drop into the main. The Spore Crawler shooting one of those medevacs, though. It's a bit of a one-way trip. This is high-risk play for Maru. He might be able to get around that Spore Crawler, but already that Queen takes out one medevac. It's shooting the other ones. He's got to pick up and try to get out of there. I think, yeah, there's so much dead space on this map. He can get by it. And he does escape. This base is insane. There's no way to really zone out the edges unless you take here and put spores along the very bottom. Solar, though, is on 73 workers. He's got Hydras on the way. Move speed upgrade for those. No doubt we'll go Groove Spines after that. 2nd factory, 4th command center, only just beginning. I think Maru's done a really good job of slowing down Solar's ability to drone to 85, 90 workers. However, he himself is very slow, right? Yeah, he's out on upgrades by a good minute or so, right? Man, about a minute. Especially if 2-2 starts on time, but still decent creep spread for Solar. And with the 4th base so late for Maru, it's not going to be landed in a planetary until like maybe 10 minutes. Ooh, Widowmine drop. This could be a big play. This could be a big boomy. Oh, 12 workers go down. Widowmine burrowing in the natural as well. Can he get one? Ah, nice move on the drones. Shouldn't be able to get too much here. It looks like he'll just take out one of the drones on the gas. And indeed, no, he misses. So he's getting extracted. 12 drones is not bad, especially since Solar's a little slow to replenish those drones and loses a Queen. And those Marines do keep getting saved. Great micro by Maru in this game. Solar's got to get that worker count back up. Infestation Pit's on the way. This distraction delayed Solar from starting 2-2, which means that 60-second upgrade advantage is now a almost 2-minute upgrade advantage. Plus 2 melee did not start as well. Groove Spines is on the way. Solar's hanging on, but it feels like Maru, through sheer force of will, multitasking his way back into this game. Even though the opening sucks for him, I feel like he's doing a fantastic job of just keeping up the multi-prong pressure. And I've told you guys, that's where Maru sometimes overwhelms Solar if he's being greedy. I'm not used to him being able to overwhelm Solar off such a bad start, though. Solar does win a fight there. Got some units defending in the south as well. He's got to be a little cautious. Maru getting a bit ballsy there, though. Now the Hive has not started. Definitely want to see Solar start that Hive. His +2 melee did start up as well. I mean, Solar's dotting his I's, crossing his D's. He's doing a pretty good job, but he needs to make sure he keeps an Overseer on each side. He's only got 2 of them in the north. I want to see him completely chase this army back, clean up the Widow Mines, because right now it feels like Maru is picking where and when the fights happen. He's got his 4th up behind it, and he's just like, pick up, drop here, stim in whenever I feel like it. So he's just basically like spends 30 seconds macroing, spends 30 seconds microing, 30 seconds macroing, 30 seconds microing. He's now got 3 more barracks with tech labs. No concussive shells just yet is a mistake. He's got to make sure he remembers that very important upgrade that Maru has forgotten in this game. Lots of Lingbane Hydra there, but this base, you don't want to lose this base. He's going to lose it. Oh, great pick off there for Maru, but oh, he doesn't stim and actually loses quite a lot of units. Got to watch out for this Widowmine though. On the backside, 22 kill. Commander Widowmine makes a name for himself and then some, sitting around the Widowmine bar. They're going to be going, oh, look at that guy with 22 kills. Unfortunately, he did get killed right afterwards, and Solar still cleaned up the fight. He's down 2,000 resources lost. That's not too bad for a Zerg player, but losing the 5th base does slow down his growth. Not to mention the creep keeps on getting impinged on. It's hard for Solar to defend everywhere at once. He's only down to 4 queens. He's making lurkers and a hive now, but those are lair tech lurkers. I still feel like even though it looks like Maru is swinging a big bag of Terran Bio around and hitting Solar in the face repeatedly, Solar has weathered the storm, and he's done this 1,000 times before. He's got a Viper on the way. Lurker upgrades will no doubt be next on the menu, and there we go. They do start up. If he can defend this 5th base, I expect a big counterattack from Solar about 2 minutes from now when he's got some Lurker upgrades, some Vipers, and only Biomine will not defend that. Yes, Ghost production starting, but only the first 3 Ghosts, which is nowhere near enough to defend the Lurkers. It's going to be very close. I feel like Maru's got decent Ghost timing, but it's by no means is he ahead in the tech. Yeah, oh, the Marauder's coming forwards. He's looking for that good Marauder bait to get those Banelings to clump up into the Widowmine Marauder. Ling run by on the left side could be effective here. Let's see what Solar gets with this bad boy. Looks like the 6th base in the top right did get denied. Widowmine only takes out 2 Zerglings there. The Marauder will go down. Ghost on the right side started stepping back. You go, girl. Maru is going to abandon his position on the front. I would love that to get cleared up while this is happening. A few Ghosts do go down. Siege Tank looks like it might fall as well. 2 more Ghosts going down. Wow, this is actually a really good trade for Solar. Still only down about 2,000 units lost. +3 melee, adrenal glands, +1 range. Seismic Spines is finished. He's making more Banelings, not that many Lurkers, and only 1 Viper. Also, no adaptive Talons for those Lurkers. A very important upgrade being forgotten by Solar. Of course, he's incredibly gas-starved as he makes a lot of Banelings in this scenario. Like I said, though, he's maxed. He's weathered the storm. He's on 88 drones, and he will be exploding across this map in the near future. Do not underestimate this mad lad. That drone goes down. A couple of Lings go down. Nothing too impactful. That Widowmine drop gets shot out of the skies. And Maru, he's going to have to try and defend. He's got max commands and he's switching gears from offense into defense. Solar, though, has 40 Banelings. He's got Lurkers. He's got Talons on the way now. That forgotten upgrade got remembered. Can you imagine, guys, if you can get a bunch of Banelings blowing up here, you could blow up 3 command centers. Oh, he caught the Lurkers. 2 Lurkers go down in the north side. 3rd Lurker goes down. Maru's buying himself a lot of time. Solar has to go blow up some bases right now. Solar is maxed. He can't be sending his whole army back for this. Maru making him panic F2 a little bit. Widowmine shoots on an Overseer, not the most effective shot. Maru's up to 11 Ghosts now, which is a decent counter to these Lurkers. This base is so vulnerable on the north. If he just got a bunch of Lurkers burrowed there while rolling Banelings into one of these bottom bases, that would be a winning play. But because he has no Lurkers, Solar is kind of dilly-dallying. He's going to send Ling Bane into the top, which makes sense. You don't need that many units. Notice he's staying just outside of Sensor Tower vision. Let's go to Maru's camera. Maru might get vision on the north. He sees this army coming. Hydra Bane coming forward. Whoa, let's go back to everyone's view. Maru going to get jumped on. Some Ling Bane coming forwards, but that Widowmine, okay, it gets taken out. Nice EMP on the Viper. Beautiful spready. Oh my god, this is a terrible engagement for Solar. I can't believe he committed. All of his Hydra Bane was miles behind the Zerglings. And once again, just like that last game, Solar attacking very spread out in a line, not getting his units together. And I mean, that flank from behind did nothing. Didn't even kill the siege tank. That felt like a very sloppy engage. His Lings were here. His Hydra Bane was back here. You do not fight when your army is spread out across 2 screens. Solar, it feels like the pressure is getting to him and he's uncharacteristically making mistakes. And it happens when someone beats you as much as Maru beats Solar. You can get in your own head. Maru now counterattacking a little dangerously here. Ooh, snipes go down. This is a crazy attack for Maru. What is he doing? But with only 1 Overseer there, apparently he feels confident with just a pack of Ghosts and attack. This is still a silly engage. Maru is taking a silly engagement right now, and he may get punished, but feels like, where's the rest of the army for Solar? Where'd it go? His Lurkers are going up the top side. He doesn't have enough to defend. I can't believe he's going to lose a base to 12 Ghosts and a tank. I can't believe that just worked. All of his Hydras are morphing into Lurkers. They're going to try and counter shove the north. Solar still has enough money to remax on Zerglings, but he's out of lava right now, and this is a big problem. This is a huge problem. Ghosts are not meant to be able to push that far beyond planetary fortresses and tanks on their own. Yet Maru just feels so confident. He's like, I don't need to respect the rules of StarCraft. I do whatever the hell I want. And he's now got a new base in the bottom. 4 command centers, 2 planetaries, and 5 orbitals. He's well on his way to the Iron Bank. 2 more orbitals morphing right now. And it feels like Solar has thrown away a few armies very inefficiently. He's now down 6,000 resources in the units lost. Lingbane Hydra coming down the south could get some big boomies with that. Once again, he's attacking in a giant spread, though. Can't get behind that. He's got to clump his units. Lurkers! Nice ambush. Does force Maru the other way around. Maru has to abandon ship on the south side. Liberators, Marauders, and vehicle weapon upgrades coming in. The Lingbane Hydra needs to pull back, though. I think this is too deep. Widowmine gets a decent shot. He could go for the mineral line with those Banelings. Lurkers are hitting that base. Banelings go in and get a few SCVs on this one, but he's going to have to pull back. He's going in a little bit too deep. He is actually going for the planetary, but the mass repair comes in! And that is a massive overextension for Solar yet again. I don't mind that as roll the Banelings in the mineral line run away, but he definitely never had enough units to take out the planetary. A big overextension yet again. Solar does get some command centers burning, but doesn't really kill any of them. His Lurkers are a great squad, but he spent yet again more and more resources. Now down 10,000 resources in units lost. And you can feel the urgency in Solar's play, but you can't feel the urgency, the organization. And I always say there's two things in StarCraft: organized urgency. The moment you're pure urgency, it becomes chaotic and you start to fall apart. The moment you're super organized, but you're playing too slow, you can get outmaneuvered. You need a balance of the two. Right now, Solar feels like he's a bit too frantic, and he needs to piece these multi-prong attacks together a bit better. The Lurkers are out on their own. He's got to be careful. Those Lurkers need support. Running around with a Lurker squad. Oh my god! Oh, Solar, wake up! Oh no! Solar! Every single Lurker goes down. A huge misstep. As I said, it's all chaos for him. The Nidus Worm is going down behind this, but a massive, massive mistake. And dude, the tank by... Oh, this is such a scary position. The Lib tank positioning around here is so brutal. The Banelings are going to try and roll in, but they're rolling around a corner again. The tanks are there. The Banelings get blasted. And that is a devastating engagement. The supply is surprisingly close. I don't know how Solar's making it close. Lings run in, but the planetary will blast them apart. Baneling Hydra get a few of the ghosts on the front, a few of the medevacs as well, but he's got no staying power. He's got no staying power here. The snipes are punishing him. Oh no, so many snipes going down on these Hydras and Banes, luring him into the tank's time. And again, units lost out 14,000 resources in favor of Solar. Maru has that bottom base fully mining behind this and rolling into Tank Marauder Ghost with Banelings. That feels like just throwing money underneath your opponent's tank tracks as they roll through your city square. It doesn't seem like an effective way of dealing with it. Right now, Solar needs to go full-on Molotov into the open hatch of the bloody tank. He's got to do something desperate here. He's got to somehow get together a guerrilla defense. But he just doesn't have the numbers. And even though the supply is surprisingly close, you've got to keep in mind, guys, there are 8 orbitals. And he can at any moment drop about 20 mules and just absolutely do so much, whereas Solar is just trying to remax on basic units with no Banelings to make up for the supply and efficiency. Maru is just crushing through and overwhelming here. And it does feel like Solar, just his engagements have not been clean enough. A nuke is going to go down in the front. This guy here is calling in the nuke. Solar sees it. He focuses it. It goes down. Parasitic bomb in the medevacs, but immediately spready there from Maru. That medevac does fly off and land in the forest. Dude, this position as well. I hate this base because this position with these tanks around here and then working their way around that angle is so deadly. I understand why Zergs take it because you kind of need to get center control, but Maru abusing it so well. Solar, unfortunately, botching a couple of engagements. Oh, he's having a rough series here. I really feel like he's struggling with the mental side of playing against someone who's a nemesis of his, regularly beats him, is a practice partner and a teammate, but it sucks to be losing to him over and over again. Solar has to grit his teeth and find a way to get back in this series right here, right now.
My man.
And it's kind of funny because I definitely feel like he's making mistakes that are uncharacteristic. On the other hand, I think everyone was at this tournament. I really feel like this Katowice more than ever, the nerves showed through, and no one really plays well at tournaments. Like a lot of the things, so back in the day, for those who don't know, Stats, one of the greatest Protoss players ever, who apparently is back from the military now, has just got out, and is back being streaming. He used to not be that high on the ladder. And people who were really surprised when we found this out. We were like, wait, what? He'd be like 700 MMR lower than the Marus and the Rogues. And we were like, what? How is he that much lower on ladder? And people said, well, Stats had this weird characteristic where every other player, when they go to a LAN tournament, plays at minus 500 MMR, their normal practice level, due to jet lag, the setting being different, nerves, the lights on them, the crowd cheering, all these different things that just affect your performance. But they said Stats was the one freak in that he would play at plus 500 MMR in those circumstances when everyone else went minus 500 MMR. And I feel like that sometimes is a big thing, you know, there's being good at StarCraft and there's being good at StarCraft in tournaments, playing in these diverse situations and finding a way to bring your A game in. Often it's the cheesy guys who perform in those tournaments, but Stats always was special because he was a big macro boy. Solar and Maru also big macro boys. Maru has a big tendency to get far and play very good for a while in these tournaments, but he very rarely seals the deal unless he's in Korea. And there is one exception. The YouTube commenter pointed out, they're like, people never talk about WESG. Like, that was $400,000. Maru won 2 WESGs. He does get 2 Lings and a drone. Not bad, but nothing to write home about. Very similar defense to last game so far. Does he go 3rd command center? Yeah, he's going to go 3rd command center even before factory this time. So a slight reordering of the build. Oh, nice positioning for Solar. Can he get a Reaper? Oh! Okay, does get out of there. But yeah, he won 400k, and a lot of people say, well, look at that, that's so important. The thing is, because WESG was not a very good format over tournament, it was okay. And it was kind of like sometimes played on like old maps, and like one of them he won in a period when the Raven was very, very powerful. There's all these little addendums. It's like, number one, it was a tournament that popped up out of nowhere, and similar to WCG, StarCraft was not a big focus for it, and it was a little bit weird in its organization. And the other one was that one of them, I think it was the start of 2017, maybe it was the start of 2018, he won one where he spammed anti-armor missiles, as every Terran was at the time, to basically kill anything in late game with Mass Raven. Your anti-armor missile did, I think, 25 damage a pop, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it also cost very little energy. I don't know if it was like 30 or 50 energy or something, but essentially once you got to like 20 Ravens, you could just spam endless missiles at people, and it was unbeatable. So those are the reasons why people don't mention that WHG tournament as much. It's because it wasn't really an established, top tournament. So it still is a very good tournament, and it's something we should mention for sure. And it is important that it's kind of like winning a Premier tournament. I just wouldn't put it as a world championship. Like, some people are like, oh, it's like winning Katowice or BlizzCon. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way a tournament that pops up out of nowhere just because it has a big prize pool can have that weighting. And that's my opinion anyway. So I think Maru has one Premier tournament. That's his one Premier tournament overseas that he's won, but he's never won anything else. I'm blabbering, guys. That's a Ling Bane all in. Oh my god, only 30 drones? The Marines go back inside, though. If those Marines move out, Maru's screwed. But if he stays behind the wall, he's got Sim. He could focus these Banes down. I think Maru. Let's watch from Maru's camera. Maru, oh, he's moving out. He's moving out. He's not watching. He's watching his Reaper. Oh, no. Oh, no. Maru, we're watching from his camera right now as he tries to get back there. Oh, no. He doesn't even get the depot up. Great micro, though. Let's go back to everyone's camera. His focus fire has been incredible, but the Lings are getting the wraparound. One of the Banelings connects. He's still got 3 Reapers and 4 Marines alive on the left side. They need to get away from those Banelings, and he does. He keeps a bunch of Marines and Reapers alive, but his depot is still not up. Solar pulling back to make sure that depot goes down. These Banelings going to go towards the Reapers and the Marines. He focuses down them both again, and the SCVs get in front to tank. He's still only got 2 Marines and 2 Reapers, though. He's got very little firepower. There's a lot of Lings. He needs to block the ramp. The Lings get up the ramp. Oh, no. It's a disaster for Maru. That is a huge problem. That is a huge, huge, huge problem. The Lings coming in from all sides. Oh, bam. Very, very nicely done there. Lings trying to do exactly what they can. Banelings coming forwards as well. Lings trying to go in for a big surround. The Marines there trying to fight. SCVs pulling to the front. Banelings on that side as well. Going to be moving up towards the main. Nice save on the tank for Maru. Ling Bane coming on in. Whoa, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. Ling Bane going for the surround of the tank. The Baneling going after that Marine as well. Ling's going after the SCVs and the Marines. And that looks like there's still a few Marines firing, but he's lost so many SCVs, and the Ling Flood just does not stop. Solar comes out with a hard punish to this 2-Rex, but he said, I know you play really greedy after those early Reapers. Didn't take any damage early, and then he just shut down the scouting and absolutely is overwhelmed. Now, he hasn't built any more drones. He's just going to keep hammering the front. Maru's like, quick. He's stopped attacking. Go for the counter pressure. He sees the Banelings, and he's like, oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, he's going to lift his buildings. He's going to try and wall off his ramp with buildings. This is so bloody cute and so clever. But it does mean he gives up all of his low ground. I mean, this is great because it allows you to survive here. Is it really going to be that effective, though? These Marines in the medevac on the low ground. Going to try and focus down a few Banelings if he can. And he's got 2 Marines on the high ground, or 3 Marines on the high ground, 3 on the low ground as well. Solar's like, okay, well, you can survive, I guess, but you're not going to be able to get this low ground back anytime soon. Solar could start droning up at any moment. Oh my god, Solar finally starts droning, and that barracks is burning. How can you sleep while the barracks is burning, mate? He's going to try and land it on the low ground just to try and derp out the units momentarily before it burns down. Command center does lift off. Depot's starting to fall. The Marines still microing back and forth, but at this point, Maru is basically relying on each one of these Marines getting triple-digit kills. That's right, 100+ kills for each of these Marines, and you can win this game, because by the time you move across the map, Zerg's going to be on 80 drones. He's going to have everything out. I mean, can you even defend this next wave? Not really. The eBays go down on the low ground. The gas goes down. Now, a lot of people go, oh, you didn't cancel it. You didn't get the money back. Guys, that's never how it's worked in StarCraft 2. You always get the money back from a building that dies with an upgrade halfway done. It always refunds the money. I still, in 2023, 13 years later, hear people saying that. I actually don't know any RTS. I don't know if any RTS game had that as a mechanic. I'm pretty sure in Brood War as well, you got the money back. I could be wrong on that. You guys let me know what RTS had that. It never was the case in StarCraft 2. Ling Bane could come in at any moment. That's not a wall off. Solar could just go smash into that. Yeah, that's not a wall off, dude. He starts a barracks. The Lings can just tear that down. The Marines run past as that one Zergling runs in, and he's just like, good night, sweet barracks. And that should be that. Okay, Solar not going down without a fight. I love his choice to bring out an all-in here. Maru was getting very predictable with this opening, and Solar punishing it super hard. Very necessary, because it was a very greedy follow-up, that 3cc follow-up, where I've talked about how you can't let Maru be too crazy greedy, because when he gets really greedy and plays with zero fear, that's when he annihilates Solar. And remember that ghost counterattack in that last game. Maru's been playing with zero fear. Solar, though, does a bit of an oogie boogie Baneling bust, and now Maru's going to have to show him some respect. All right, guys, going into a game on Ancient Cistern now, game number 4. See if Maru's going to respect him a little bit. No more of this low ground barracks Reaper shenanigans. Going back to a Reaper factory. Is it gas first? It's a gas first opening, guys. Maru. So that Reaper pops out. Not the fastest. And he might even leave it at home. Because with this build, you're going straight reactor. So if it is pull first and Lings come across the map, you've got nothing at home to defend. But Maru says, screw it. I'll be risky. Goes across the map. If Lings were running in right now, they would ruin his day. This build order sucks against pool first, but Maru is not afraid of taking risks. Third base goes down there. Reaper will come in. Very unlikely to do any damage. This Reaper is always very late off gas first by about 3 seconds. And then he also scouted to the north before going across the map. I think he was just checking for Proxy Hatchery. Proxy Hatch Ravager, a very powerful all-in build. Creep Tumor going down on the natural as well. Orbital Command Center does start up there. Overlord over here. We've got the Tastalope hanging out. You can tell this one's a Tastalope. Has a very large head, and it is kind of a blue and white color, whereas the Artosalope, more of a vegan antelope. Where is it? Somewhere over this part of the map normally. Is it the natural? We'll find it. It'll pop up at some point. The Reaper's going to move to the north side. Ooh. Okay, Reaper backs off. Got a Viking on the way, as well as Hellions being double produced right now. And a bit of a supply block for Solar. Doesn't extract a trick to squeeze out another drone. That third hatchery should unsupply block him. Just a few seconds before those overlords are finished. We should see drones popping up into that production tab. There we go. And still only one Marine. Finally, Attack Lab does start up on that barracks. 4 Hellions and a Reaper. Does he dive? There's only 4 Zerglings out right now. Uh-oh. Oh, those Queens are a little out of position and not enough Zerglings to stop this. Oh, God, Solar. Not like this, not like this. The drone's trying to run it. He actually turns around. It was a juke. He gets a surround. Solar with a brilliant surround. Only loses 4 drones. Shuts it down. And he does build about 8 more Zerglings. So this still was decent damage for Maru, but definitely I think the Zerg comes out on top, but gets an Overlord kill as well. This is all slowing down Solar's build-up stage of the game. At the same time, he does need to keep up Hellion production, or the Zerg creep spread will get out of control, and I want to see Solar spreading that creep. You can see there we go, he's spreading it. Watching Solar's first-person view at this tournament, we did see he does box his tumors. He just kind of boxes and manually spreads by scrolling around, clicking on the minimap. Not a bad way of doing it. Spore Crawler going up on the edge of the main base. That Viking coming forwards. Gonna look for some Overlord kills, but Solar's already pulled them back into a conservative pattern. And Mech! Oh, baby! Oh, baby! And what is this? He's got a 3 Hellion drop. Oh, I love that. He clears the opening in the main, 3 alien drop coming in. He's going to go mech behind this. This is so slick from Maru. He's got Widowmine's Armory and that second factory on the way. Hellions diving in towards this main base. He's going to go after it. Nice Evo block. And the Lings. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The drones are getting... They're a bit clumped. They're a bit clumped. He does lose 2 workers. Another 4 drones go down. But you know what? Medevac is trapped in the corner. The Hellions are all dead. Immediately back to mining. Not too bad. Zergling there working on the natural wall. Command center does take a bit of damage. There's the taste of Artosalope, guys. As I said, same animal but green, basically. Double Widowmine production there. Oh, he's not playing mech. He's just doing mass Widowmine drop bio. Oh, this is a disgusting style, guys. This is a style that really relies. This is, I mean, it's basically Solar. I'm going to check how good you are at defending Widowmine drops because they're going to come and they're going to keep on coming. Like, this is going to be Widowmine drop defense simulator for Solar. Can he actually stop it? Because they're going to be exploding and, oh my god, crazy enough, he's going Roaches. He's going surprise 1-1 Roaches. So he's shown Mass Queen Ling, so we can surprise him with a Roach timing. Solar is going to absolutely annihilate him with this. Unless Maru can get crazy Widowmine damage. The thing is, with this build, your barracks are so late. You're making Widowmines and Bio, which suck against Roaches. However, he's putting a Spire. Why is he putting a Spire? Oh, does he think it's BC? Oh, I think he thinks it's BC. Okay, I think right now Solar's worried it's battle cruisers, so he's like, oh shit, I think it's BCs. I gotta get Spire in case I need Corruptors. And this Widowmine drops there. Viking on the north side. That Queen should be able to damage the Viking a little bit. And at least it won't be able to get a follow-up kill without repairing, but it will get that one nicely. Oh, transfuse for the save. Good job. That lures all the queens out of position. Very clever move with the Viking. Widowmine drop coming in right now. The drones, there's a lot of them stacked on this base. Solar, wake up, wake up, wake up. Oh, no. Oh, way too slow on the pull. 16 drones go down. First wave, ultimately successful. Overseer goes through. He sees what he's up against now, does Solar. It's double factory production and the barracks. But look at that. Maru already swapping a tank production, and that's because he saw the Roach Warren. With the medevac, he came in, he saw the Roach Warren there, and immediately he knows what he's in trouble of. He's got to get tanks, he's got to defend. There's no way he can defend his third base. He's got to just keep doing damage with the Widowmines and try to waste Solar's time. Solar is not re-droning at all. He loses another 7 drones. That Widowmine not even burrowing there. Oh my god, Solar panicking right now. He's not responding at all. Solar, what are you doing, mate? This Widowmine following these drones. Solar is screwing the pooch right now. He's making some big mistakes. Another 2 drones go down. His Lings deny the mining on that base, but because the Roach Warren got spotted, this was huge. And this all came because that Viking lured the queens out of position, which has allowed the medevac to cross from the third into the natural and see what's up. Solar is saying, screw it, I'm going to go all in. You shouldn't be able to defend this. But because Maru spotted it so early, the tank is already out, and look at that positioning. It's so safe back there. He needs to break these depots, get his Ravagers to about there so they can bile the tank. Does he have an Overseer? He's got one there. He can bring that up and use it to spot this. But already the Marine count's growing. He does have Stim. He doesn't have shields or 1-1, but there's not a lot of economy behind this. Solar is all in with this 1-1. He clicked on the depot, a misclick on the depot. His Roaches and Ravagers wasting a lot of attack damage, and that tank, another one joining it on the backside. The Overseer comes in rather late. He's already taken a beating from these siege tanks. The SCV is a little bit slow to get in front there. Oh, and only 2 biles on 1 tank. Oh no! And he gets 2 biles on each tank. Finally a 3rd bile on the last tank. But the Marines and the SCVs hold on, and Maru. This build is meant to be so vulnerable to Roach pushes. But Solar just got way too stiff and all in his play. If he actually re-droned, he could have denied this 3rd, and Maru would have had to turtle on 2 base for a long time. He had 4 bases. This was a very playable position. But Solar panicked there. He lost so many more drones. 38 drones. I mean, even after the first Widowmine drop, that was easily recoverable. And even this push would have been much better as a follow-up if he didn't lose an extra 20-30 drones after the first Widowmine drop. Huge mistakes from Solar. Panicking in this series. And it feels like the pressure of Maru. And look at this read. He even baits him, and he's still got 2 tanks on the high ground. Solar thinks he's caught him out of position, but he can't even kill the 1 tank. And this is just Maru on another level. And this is what happens when a nemesis meets their victim. Solar says, GG, well played. Take the trophy. Take the trophy instead of me. Solar cheering on his teammate, but no doubt feeling a little bit hurt in that defeat. But nonetheless, takes the high road and says, you can do it, Maru. Get up there and win that championship. GG, well played. Maru takes a 3-1.